Here's why you play Suyou, the Mask of the Immortal in the jungle. First off, he has exceptional versatility, allowing him to seamlessly switch between mortal and immortal forms for different combat scenarios. His engage and burst potential is extremely strong, as he can dive into fights with high mobility and deal devastating damage. Suyou also has amazing sustain in battles due to his healing capabilities when hold casting his second skill. However, he requires charging time for his hold cast abilities, which makes him vulnerable to crowd control. Additionally, he is skill dependent, meaning he must land his abilities accurately to maximize his damage output. Suyou's passive, Transcend Immortal, allows him to switch between mortal and immortal forms depending on how his skills are cast. Tap casting any skill puts him into mortal form, increasing his movement speed and reducing the interval between his basic attacks. Meanwhile, shifts him into immortal form, significantly increasing his basic attack damage and granting him damage reduction, the skills with extra physical attack. Understanding when to tap or hold cast is crucial for maximizing his damage output and survivability. Suyou's first skill, Blade Surge, allows him to engage or reposition. When tapped cast, he throws his weapon in a target direction, dealing damage to enemies in its path before blinking to its location and slashing in the opposite direction. When hold cast, he charges forward, dealing damage to enemies along his path and stunning them in a rectangular area upon hitting an enemy hero. The charge distance increases the longer the skill is held. This skill gives Suyou strong initiation and outplay potential, allowing him to control fights effectively. Suyou's second skill, Soul Sever, deals massive AoE damage. When tap cast, he performs a sweeping attack in a fan-shaped area, dealing damage based on the target's lost HP. When hold cast, he performs 3 cleaving attacks in the same area, with the final strike dealing extra damage and restoring HP. This skill makes Suyou a dangerous threat in prolonged fights, as he can sustain himself while dealing consistent burst damage. Suyou's ultimate, Evil Quiller, is a versatile finishing move. When tap cast, he glides backward while slashing in front of him, dealing damage and slowing enemies. When hold cast, he channels power and shoots a deadly arrow in the target direction, dealing high damage that scales with the charge time. This ultimate can be used for both offense and defense, making it a key ability in Suyou's kit. A typical skill combo for Suyou is the hold cast's ultimate to poke from a long range before initiating a fight, hold cast's first skill to engage and stun the enemy at their backline, hold cast's second skill to unleash high burst damage and sustain yourself, tap cast ultimate to reposition or escape if necessary, tap cast first skill and tap cast second skill when off cooldown to finish off targets. Moving on to builds, I usually build Ice Retreat, Tough Boots, Hunter Strike, Blade of Despair, War Axe, Blood Wings, and finally Malefic Roar. These are the emblems that go along with this build. As for battle spells, the best burst spells for Suyou as a jungler is indeed Retribution, as it is essential for securing objectives and jungle farming. Suyou excels against heroes who lack mobility, as his high damage hold cast skills allow him to chase down and burst squishy targets. Heroes like Savior and Ixia struggle against him since they have no reliable dashes to escape his relentless attacks. However, he struggles against crowd control heavy heroes such as Badang and Melissa, as they can interrupt his hold cast abilities, preventing him from reaching his full damage potential. Additionally, tanky heroes with high sustain can withstand his burst, making extended fights difficult. You should max second skill first, as is Suyou's main source of burst damage and sustain. Max first skill next, as it increases mobility and CC effectiveness, and most importantly, upgrade the ultimate whenever available. To play Suyou effectively, he must master the balance between his mortal and immortal forms. Use tap cast skills when chasing enemies or repositioning, and hold cast when looking to deal massive burst damage. His hold cast first skill is a strong initiation tool, so time it well to land a stun on priority targets. Hold casting the second skill allows you to sustain through fights, making it ideal for extended engagements. Position yourself wisely before using the hold cast ultimate to poke enemies from afar, and always be mindful of crowd control, as getting stunned mid-charge can be disastrous. Play around your mobility and sustain, and use your skills wisely to dominate fights.